Hi, Gary Chillingworth here for Air Gunner Magazine, Shooting and Country TV. Welcome to Life at the Range. Little short video we got today, all about how you pick your pellets. Now, this is a request I've had from a viewer called Tony, who dropped me an email at lifeattherange@gmail.com. And he said, Gary, there are so many different pellets out there, and basically, what do I buy? Do I buy flatheads, Diablos, crossheads, pointed, Sabu? On the back, what dye do I buy? Basically, tons of different pellets. Well, a lot of that comes down to what you're doing. But as a general rule of thumb, if you are paper punching at 10 meters, if you're an Olympic shooter, you use a wad cutter, a flat-headed pellet. I'll put up a picture. But if you're doing anything else, if you're hunting, if you're HFT, if you're FT, if you're garden plinking, just stick to a JSB Diablo. It's what all the competition shooters use. Now, wait, that's another thing. That's something we're probably going to go to in a bit more in the future. And today's video is a quick video because every time I come out to film, it just chucks it down with rain. But today we're just going to talk about batch testing and buying your pellets. Now, these are JSBs. You can use AA fields. There are many different forms of Diablo pellet. But when you buy them, are Diablo pellets all the same? Well, no. On the back, if you look at our tin of JSBs, it's got a load of different numbers, and these are what we call batch numbers. So here you have 54. That's die number 54. Then you have 11. That's the production number of the person who was producing it. Then you have 00. That's the guy who quality checked it. And then you have 18, and that is the year that these pellets were made. Then you have number 8. That means it is the 8th batch of wire that has gone through the die. And then it's 452. Same 452 JSB pellets, but this is 37, so it's die 37. Then you've got the two numbers. This one was again made in 2018, but it's extrusion number 0. Now, I personally like a low extrusion number, 012, because that means these are the first lots of wire that have gone through the die. Sometimes when you start getting into the much higher numbers, maybe the quality of the die has started to dip a bit. Is that the case in all? No, I once had a die extrusion 10, and they were some of the best pellets I've ever had. You pays your money, you takes your choice. So if you've got 452s and they're all die numbers, they're all the same. Well, no. And this is how we batch test pellets. And now I've got to go inside because we've just got out and started filming. And as you can see, it's now started to tip it down again. Okay, so we want to batch test our pellets. So the first thing we do is make sure that they group. So let's do a little 3-shot group. We're out at 25 yards. Oh, bloody hell. One of the big things about transitioning from a Springer to a PCP is the trigger's considerably lighter. That was not meant to go off there, so we'll just do another one. So there you go, pretty much going through the same hole. So we're all good. Right, we'll do one more. So all through the same hole, 25 yards. We then push it out to 40 and we'll test the group again. No point with this gun. I know full well that this gun groups incredibly well with these pellets at 40 yards. So now we want to see what pellets are best for us. And to do that, we need to set our 0 or find our aim point at 25 yards, and we'll shoot a couple of pellets at 25 yards. So we're looking at the top line, 25 yards. There we go. That's fractionally lower than I expected. Do another one. One more. And there we go. And now what we want to do is we're now going to move this target out to 40 yards. Okay, so we've now got our target out at 40 yards. And this is the important bit. We want to use the same aim point that we used for our 25-yard shot at 40 yards. And we want to see how far the pellet will drop below the line. So we're putting our 25-yard aim point on the 40-yard line. That was pretty good. Okay, I'll be honest with you. The second shot is more like the shot that I expected. I would expect it to drop around about 3/4 of a mil dot between 25 and 40. I don't know why that first shot went high. Might have been head position. Let's just make sure I'm correct. And there we go. So we've got two shots next to each other. So we now know what the drop is on these particular pellets. Gives us something to measure. Okay, so we're back at 25 yards and we're now using the second batch of pellets. So let's see, just check, make sure how these are on the line. We've now got a consistent, it's just under the 25-yard mark. So now we're going to go and move the target back out to 40 yards and let's see what the drop is. Okay, so we're now back out at 40 yards. So let's see how good these pellets are. Well, these seem like the same amount of drop. That's good for me, but not particularly good for this video. So let's try another one. Okay. Well, good for me. I've now got a set of pellets that are the same as the ones I usually use, but not good video. So let me go and grab a set of pellets which I know aren't particularly good in this gun. Okay, so we're back I've got, again, they're 4.52s. I've measured them at 25 yards. So now we're just going to shoot at 40. We're going to go on the left-hand side. Actually, no, sorry, we're going to go on the right-hand side. And if you see, that has hit fractionally lower. Lower again. And lower again. So what is happening? Well, basically, the reason that we're doing this the way that we are, and we're using that 25-yard aim point at 40 yards, is we want to see how efficient the pellet is downrange. Now, you can obviously do this by putting out a chronograph downrange. If you've got something like the LMBR R2A, which has got a big wide aperture, you can put it out at 40 yards. You can shoot loads of pellets through it. And for instance, if you've got 800 feet per second at the peg, you're probably going to have around about 590 downrange with a good pellet. With a bad pellet, it might be 540 or 530. That means the pellet will drop lower. And obviously, you want to carry as much speed downrange as you can, because more speed means less wind, and it means you've got a flatter trajectory. And that is what we're measuring. We're measuring the flatness of the trajectory. Now, as you can see, with those first two batches of pellets, tell you what I'll do, I'll go and get the card. I'll be back in a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so as you can see, we'll ignore this one because it sort of messed us up. We put our 25-yard aim point on the line, and this one has dropped about a centimetre, about a centimetre, about a centimetre, about a centimetre. But then we've got here, these have dropped like 2 centimetres, again with the same aim point on there. So this is showing me that these pellets are much more efficient. They're carrying faster speed downrange. They all give good groups, but they're carrying more speed downrange. They're all JSBs, they're all 4.52s. It's just the particular die number matches this rifle. It works well in this gun. So that's why you batch test. Now, it can be frustrating. What I like to do is I contact a firm like Solware or Derwent or Intershoot or things like that who they buy pellets in massive bulk. And I say, oh, can you send me a couple of tins of 4.52s of different die numbers, preferably with a low extrusion number, but only ones that you've got a large stock of. They come through the following day. I go out and test. If I get a batch like this, the die 37 extrusion 1 made in 2022 or whatever, and they're giving me a 1 centimetre drop roughly at 40 yards, I know that's a good pellet for me. So I'll phone them up and say, how many have you got? Can I have 3 sleeves, 4 sleeves? It's a lot of money, it's a lot of expense, but I'm now set for the next year or so because I know that I've now purchased pellets that work with my guns. Now, there is no criticism of pellets here. It's a weird thing. I've got 2 TX200s and I've got some large batches of pellets, all 4.52s. I think one die 8 and one's die 10. The die 8s work brilliant in my competition rifle, but are shocking in my spare. But the die 10s are brilliant in my spare gun, but they're shocking in my competition rifle. Both great pellets. It's just literally whether or not they match the rifle. So that's pretty much about it. If you've got one, put a chrono downrange and use that to measure your speeds. That's the best way of doing it. If you haven't got a chrono, do it the way we've done with a bit of card and just measure your drop. And for me, around about a centimetre of drop. If I zero at 25, I want it to drop around about a centimetre at 40 yards, and that's pretty good for me. I used to have a set of pellets that were fantastic, and they only dropped 0.5 centimetre. They carried so much wind down range, but unfortunately they're long gone, and I've never been able to get any more. I've tried sizing pellets, lubing pellets, and whatever. To be honest with you, it's never really made a huge difference. If you've got a pellet that works well in your gun, buy as many as you can. If you can't get any, ask around. If people have got them, beg, borrow, don't steal, but get the pellets that match your gun and guard them with your life. Prepare them, weigh them, lube them if you want, but find them, the ones that match your gun, and you will have a much better day. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it's a short one today, but we're just trying to dodge the weather. We've got some interesting stuff coming up, which I hope you will enjoy. As ever, take care of each other, take care of yourselves. As I've said it before, be the person your dog wants you to be. And we'll see you all again very, very soon on the range. Ta-da!